When are we going to go on Zoom?
We'll display there.
Can't see anybody.
Yeah, we'll display there.
Just now only?
I think she's on from 6. I think she on early.
But I can't see anybody.
Yeah, she's just setting up this stuff.
But they're on, they can hear.
They're on and they can hear.
Hare Krishna. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Make Japa Great Again. I wanted to introduce a simple idea that is from the Shastra about fixing one's intention before chanting. It's called sankalpa. Means to articulate what you've decided, why you've decided to chant the Maha Mantra. And from the Brihat Bhagavatamrita, I have a few short quotes. It's mentioned, my dear boy, whatever you desire while chanting your mantra, by its power you will fully achieve. Indeed, you will attain more than you desire. And then the commentary to that verse from Brihat Bhagavatamrita says, before performing any religious ritual, including the chanting of mantras, one should solemnly formulate one's sankalpa or intention, either verbally or mentally. Before chanting, if you clearly establish your purpose for doing it, you will gain immediate momentum and get in the mood for doing it. Brihat Bhagavatamrita again, in most Vedic sacrifices, one can expect one's sankalpa to be fulfilled only in the indefinite future, most likely in the next life. But by the blessings of his guru, Gopakumar's specific sankalpas would all be quickly realized, as we shall see as his story continues. And from the Srimad Bhagavatam 7:15-42, it says, the 10 kinds of air acting within the body are compared to the spokes of the chariot's wheel, and the top and bottom of the wheel itself are called religion and irreligion. The living entity in the bodily concept of life is the owner of the chariot. The Vedic mantra, pranava, is the bow. The pure living entity himself is the arrow, and the target is the supreme being. So that formulation of sankalpa or intention is like aiming the arrow where you want it to go. And just on the way over here, I was writing a few points about how in any endeavor, it's recommended that one start with some strategy, which includes beginning with the end in mind. Like ask to define the vision and mission. And that gets conventional wisdom nowadays as long vision, mission statements are a little cumbersome. Nobody ever goes back and reads them. So I thought for a long time it was not a well-known concept, but I found this morning in looking at it that it's very popular and well-known, and that is coming up with a battle cry instead of a mission statement, which is kind of like a sankalpa. For instance, someone said a good battle cry is half the battle. State Farm says, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Freddie Mac, creating a nation of homeowners. And so similarly, starting japa with a sankalpa or a battle cry, that this is the purpose why I'm doing this, and be very clear about it. And also, a kind of sankalpa can be a prayer, expressing your intention to Krishna for chanting his holy name. Sorry we came early a little bit. Should have announced it. My apologies. It very much helps to focus the mind. For instance, as I've said before, oftentimes I say the prayer to Krishna before chanting to the holy name, please allow me the best of devotee association and the wherewithal to take advantage of it. So then when I'm chanting, I have this clear intention why I'm chanting. And if you develop your own battle cry, if you think about it, why am I chanting? You can write it down and have that kind of sankalpa as a prayer, a battle cry and a prayer, and you start chanting. Then it gives us a special focus for the mind that this is the pure intention, hopefully it's a pure intention, why I'm chanting the holy name. So the idea of, I just wanted to present is sankalpa. Any reflections? Kennedy, yes, please.
Hare Krishna and good morning. What a wonderful way to come in and hear that. It reminds me of in the first chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, what it really means to be blowing the conch shell before the battle, and how the people who, had Krishna's army, they blew the conch shells and they were very proud of it. And they're like, yeah, we're really intimidating. We really got this going. And then Krishna and Arjuna blow their conch shells and it just devastates them. And so it's that idea of that's what it means to go into battle, is to have that cry before you go in. And that was before Krishna even spoke. And so it just...
That's good. That's definitely going in my book. This is part of a book called Getting to 16 Rounds, and I think that's a really good extended metaphor, because there's a way in which there's all kinds of battle cries, little battle cries that everyone has for sense gratification or establishing him or herself in the world, but then when the big conch shell comes out and says, forget all this other nonsense, it's petty, and that vibrates, then there's a sense of, okay, one thing only, tasmad ekena manasa, bhagavan sattvatam pati, shrotavya kirtitavyasya dhyaya pujasya nitira. Take that victory conch from Krishna and Arjuna. That's nice, really nice. Una más? Por favor? Go ahead. You say one.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. I don't know the exact verse, but in the Adi Leela of the Chaitanya Charitamrita, I'll paraphrase. So if one chants the holy name of the Lord, indeed by this chanting one can eradicate the material miseries and see the lotus feet of the Lord. So I usually resort to this verse before chanting and reading, and it helps me to focus, and that immediate momentum that you mentioned earlier about the sankalpa, in connecting to the holy name.
Thank you. If you could find that verse before the end of class, I'd appreciate it. I'll put it in the manuscript, along with the conch shell thing. So if you want to take 30 seconds or a minute just before you commence chanting or continue chanting, and just consider your own sankalpa to yourself and state it out loud, however you conceive it. Just see how it feels. I highly recommend it. And then when you chant, it's like the arrow, ready, aim, fire, instead of ready, fire, aim, which is also okay because you can find your aim while you're chanting, but maybe just try it this morning by fixing the arrow first on a target and then chanting. Does that sound okay? Okay. Please pretend like you're doing it. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gauri Bhakta
Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna. Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Sit properly. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama, Rama
Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna
Hare Rama,
Hare Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna
Rama Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Ram
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Rama, Hare
Krishna Hare
Rama, Rama
Ram
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Krishna
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Ram
Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Hare Ram
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare
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 Rama,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Rama
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare Hare,
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Krishna Hare Hare,
Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama, Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
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 Rama,
Krishna, Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama.
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram, Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, 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 Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram, Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram, Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Ram, Ram,
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram, Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Ram,
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
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 Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Ram, Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram, Ram,
Rama
Ram,
Rama, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram,
Rama, Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Hare,
Hare
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 Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram, Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Ram, Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram, Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Om
Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram, Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram, Ram,
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram, Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram Ram,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram Ram,
Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna.
Hare
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Hare
Rama, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama, Rama, Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna Hare Rama,
Hare Ram, Ram
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare Rama,
Ram
Rama,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Rama,
Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Ram Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, 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 Ram, 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 Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram, 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 Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram, Ram, Ram,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Krishna, 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 Ram, 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 Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Ram, Ram,
Krishna,
Ram, Ram,
Hare Rama,
Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna, Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram, 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 Krishna, Krishna, Ram, Ram, Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Ram, 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 Krishna, Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Ram, 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 Ram,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare,
Krishna, 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 Ram, 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 Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Ram, 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 Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Ram, 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 Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Krishna Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Ram, Ram, Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram, 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 Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Rama, Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Ram, 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 Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Ram, 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 Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Ram, 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 Hare
Krishna Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Ram, Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Ram, Ram,
Krishna
Ram, Ram,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Rama Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Ram, Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama, Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram, 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 Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Ram, 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 Hare Krishna,
Hare
Ram,
Rama, Hare
Ram, Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Ram,
Hare
Ram, Ram,
Rama, Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Om
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram, 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 Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Ram,
Krishna
Ram, Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Ram, 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 Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram, Ram,
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram, Ram,
Hare
Ram, Ram,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram, Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram, 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 Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Krishna
Ram, Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram, Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram, 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 Hare Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram, Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Rama, Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram, Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, 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 Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Hare,
Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare Rama,
Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram 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 Ram
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Ram
Rama,
Ram 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 Hare
Krishna, Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram
Rama
Ram
Rama,
Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Ram Ram Ram
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna
Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna,
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Rama, Hare
Ram
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare, Hare
Ram
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Ram
Rama Rama,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna
Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram, Ram
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Rama, Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Ram.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram, Ram
Rama
Ram,
Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
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 Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Ram
Rama
Ram,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama, Hare
Hare Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare, Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Rama, Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Rama, Hare
Ram, Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram.
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Hare Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Rama
Ram.
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram.
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Sit
Krishna,
properly.
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Rama Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram.
Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Ram.
Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama,
Hare Ram, Ram, Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama, Hare Hare,
Ram, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Ram.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare Rama,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare Rama,
Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Rama, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare
Ram,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna, Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Krishna
Rama, Rama
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare Rama, Rama
Ram,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Ram,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram, Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Oh Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Ram Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Rama, Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Ram, Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Rama,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram
Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram Ram,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Rama, Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Oh,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram
Hare Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram
Rama
Ram,
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare,
Ram Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram
Rama
Ram,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna.
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Ram,
Rama, Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram, Ram,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram, 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 Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram, Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Ram, Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama, Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram, Ram,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare Rama,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Ram, Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram Ram Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram Ram
Rama Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Ram, Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama, Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Ram, Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna. Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Krishna. Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram.
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna. Just a few minutes left, and just curious if you have any thing to report about sankalpa, fixing your attention, battle cries. Yes.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj. I was reminded of the 10 positive affirmations that His Grace Mahatma Das had listed out. And Vaisesika Guru had mentioned that after reciting the 10 offenses to chanting the holy name, that we should recite those 10 positive affirmations. And I think that kind of alludes to the point of setting the intentions for the chanting.
Thank you. Practical application, other realizations. Shamalungi.
When you gave us the time, for the sankalpa, so what came to my mind was that I'm actually very troubled, and there are so many philosophies that keep coming to us, like crocodiles, like it's in Chaitanya Charitamrita, they say, right, all these philosophies are like crocodiles which come and bite you. And then Mahaprabhu, if you follow Mahaprabhu, even like a child can swim across the ocean of material existence. And then I was reminded of the Subudhi Rai's pastime, when he was forcibly converted to a Muslim, and then the society would not accept him. And he tried so many things, so many people told him, so many harsh stuff like, drinking boiled ghee. And then somebody also told him you should go and kill yourself. But then Mahaprabhu, told him, you just chant. And then slowly he went to Vrindavan and he chanted, and he became like a pure devotee. So thank you.
Thank you very much. It's very helpful. Yes.
I found the verse that you asked for.
Yeah.
It's Adi Lila, 7th chapter, text 73. Krishna mantra haite haibe samsara mochana. Krishna nama haite pabe Krishnara charana. So simply by chanting the holy name of Krishna, one can obtain freedom from material existence. Indeed, simply by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, one will be able to see the lotus feet of the Lord. And this reminds me of when I used to be involved in sporting, and there were some fans that would say, they would scream, OH, and they'd say, IO, and they'd go back and forth, and I didn't know what they were saying, but they were saying Ohio, the Ohio State team. And so and here it is nearly 15 years later, and I'm remembering that OHIO. And so in the same way as Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam, what's the result of the Shravanam hearing, chanting Vishnu's name is Smaranam, remembering. And that it's a scientific process that even lay people engage in, and it has the same effect. It's called phalam parichiyate. You judge the action by its result.
Thank you. Well thought out, nicely done. Anyone else? Sankalpa? I was just considering, since I brought up the example of Gopakumar, when he first received his mantra from his guru didn't explain it to him or tell him the goal of the mantra because he fainted in ecstasy after he gave Gopakumar the mantra. And then when he came back to consciousness, he wandered away in another state of ecstasy. And Gopakumar was a simple cowherd boy, and he just thought, well, I'm grateful he gave it to me. I don't know what it is, but I'll just chant it. So he kept chanting and chanting, and because he didn't have a clear sankalpa, although he was making progress, he went to every part of the universe first until he came finally to meet Narada Muni, who told him the specific object of your mantra is Krishna in Goloka Vrindavan. Because he tried to fit in everywhere else, and he didn't quite fit in all of the places where the Lord was in the various regions of the universe. And Narada told him specifically, go to Vrindavan, earthly Vrindavan, then chant your mantra, then go directly back to Goloka to meet Krishna. And that's what he did finally, which was an illustration of the importance of sankalpa, of getting guidance exactly where to point the mantra. A couple other thoughts? Yes.
Hare Krishna. I can share my experience. I thought it was largely unsuccessful. I started with the sankalpa of, okay, I'll think about Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. And once I started chanting, that lasted for about 30 seconds. And then I went straight to Krishna's pastimes. And I thought, okay, well, that's okay. That's also a nice sankalpa to have. But then I kind of meditated on that for some time. And then slowly I reverted back to just what I normally do, which is just trying to hear what the Mahamantra when I'm chanting. So I was unsuccessful, but one thing I noticed was that one thing that made me unsuccessful is that I often I would focus on thinking about doing what I was supposed to do as opposed to just doing it. Like, for example, like thinking about, okay, focus on Krishna's pastimes, but I just focus on the thought of focusing on Krishna's pastimes as opposed to actually focusing on them. So I also wanted to ask if you had any suggestions to help alleviate that.
Well, thinking about focusing on Krishna's pastimes isn't bad either. You're in the right region. I don't know, I should say, when we talked in the metaphor of a war and the conchs blowing, and also I read the verse about shooting arrows, I was thinking how Srimati Tulsi Maharani ki jai. The metaphor is given there in the Bhagavatam that the mantra is like shooting an arrow. And I was thinking about how when we read the Ramayana several times, I always thought there's a lot of arrows being shot. In fact, it goes on for pages and pages, spears and clubs and everything being thrown, and that's a lot. And I was thinking how if my intention is fixed on the mantra that I'm shooting down Maya, it's a war, and I'm shooting the arrows of the mantra, then it can become absorbing, and finding a visceral kind of metaphor, or a metaphor that can be applied viscerally, like I'm chanting, I'm shooting the vibration out, hitting something. I can say, yeah, I'll think of Lord Chaitanya or something like that, but maybe experiment with different ways of pointing the mantra very purposefully according to the Shastra's direction, like an arrow. You're defeating death. Apana samsritim goran yanama vibhashograna. It's like the beginning of the Bhagavatam says, you can defeat death with this mantra. If you want to smash samsara, just shoot this arrow of the mantra at it. And if you get in that kind of mode, it can be almost like a direct live experience that I'm besieged by the enemies of lust, anger, greed, so forth, samsara. It's a pall that's hanging over me, and now I'm shooting out these beams of light. Dear Srila Prabhupada, dear Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Shri Shri Panchatattva, Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan, Shri Shri Lakshmi Nrsimhadev, if you so desire, please empower us to chant great japa every day. Please let us renew our sankalpa every day, and then in this way, shoot ourselves towards your lotus feet in the spiritual world. Thank you for considering our request. Om Tat Sat. Everyone agrees with this prayer in whole or in part, please unmute and say Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. I didn't see anybody actually unmute up there. Vanchakalpa Kripa Sindhave Vacha Patita